I think it's safe to say that winter is now over. It's pretty crazy to think 1 year ago, we had seen a precipitous drop in our business about 80% in about 8 weeks. Well, now we're starting to see a really big rebound. And what we're seeing is when people are vaccinated, they're traveling again. So to give you a sense, seniors, people over the age of 60 on Airbnb, searches for summer travel and Memorial Day weekend are up 60% just between February and March. So we're starting to see people want to travel. It's the out of home activity they miss the most. When they can travel, they do. And the other thing we're seeing is people aren't going to the same places they used to. Airbnb, we're very much known to be an urban brand. You use Airbnb to stay in cities. Well, now a lot of our growth is in rural areas, small towns, and even entry points in national parks. So, for example, our searches in the last month for rural destinations up 40%. So those are just some of the things we're seeing. I do think once the world reopens, cities will come back. But it's not going to be a shift back to cities. It's going to be a redistribution where people are going from traveling to 100 cities to truly traveling out everywhere.
Right. So what I'm hearing from you is that demand is certainly recovering. But what about supply? We've seen this with ride sharing, with rental cars, other sort of opening up industries. Your listings, is that meeting demand? And how are you making sure that hosts stay on Airbnb or come on Airbnb, particularly when your rivals like Expedia are offering incentives to get them on their platforms?
Well, I think that we probably will have a high-cost problem where there will probably be more guests coming to Airbnb than we'll have hosts for, because what we think there's going to be a travel rebound coming that's unlike anything we've ever seen. So we are working our very, very hardest to get ready for the travel season. And we've just done a global host campaign, a global ad campaign called Made Possible by Host, which is not just a way to promote more people traveling on Airbnb, but I think it's going to work really well to attract more people to become hosts on Airbnb as well.
Right. And you mentioned that global marketing campaign that costs money, right? In the past, you've said that a lot of your hosts come to the platform organically. Is that changing at all? Do you expect to spend more money on marketing to get those hosts on the platform this year?
I mean, we are never going to spend the amount of money on marketing as a percentage of revenue as we did before the pandemic. Because one of the things that happened is when travel stopped, we cut off almost all of our marketing. And something remarkable happened last year. Our traffic, even before we resumed marketing, got to 95% of the traffic from the year prior. I think what that revealed is our brand is incredibly strong and we don't have to spend that much money on marketing as we used to.
Right. And obviously the market has changed a little bit. Your competitors are getting quite aggressive, as I mentioned, with incentives. Are you guys willing to spend more? Do you sort of put profitability plans? Do you push them out a little bit in order to make sure that you have enough supply to meet this incredible demand you're expecting to see this year?
I think that we are the leader of this category, and I think that we will retain that leadership position. And it's just a matter of doing investments, but I don't think we will anticipate doing a lot of incentives because, I think we have a huge amount of demand for the service already.
So you haven't seen any evidence of this sort of hosts going from your platform to others?
We're the only platform that is custom built for everyday people to become hosts on the platform, really individuals. And so, no, we're seeing actually increased strength of our host community.
Once we see reopening and people start to travel again and perhaps want more traditional forms of travel, do some of Airbnb's broader ambitions pre-pandemic, like hotels and real estate projects, do those get picked back up?
Well, I mean, I think as travel recovers, there are things that we scaled back that we can resume. To be clear with hotels, a few years ago, we really started getting more serious about this. And then more recently, we acquired Hotel Tonight, which is one of the most loved hotel booking apps in the United States. And we are going to continue to invest in that product. And one of the big trends that we're seeing is the decline of business travel.
I remember talking to you a few years ago, and you guys were actually developing sort of your own hotel in the middle of Manhattan. Yeah. Plans like that, your own developments, do you see that in the future? Could those be resumed?
Not in the near future. Never say never. We think there's so many opportunities as we continue to grow. But one of the things that I think that has been really revealing is the power of the global network of Airbnb. And so, just developing real estate projects is really interesting. But again, we have 4 million hosts. To meet the demand over the coming years, we're going to need millions and more hosts. And I think the network-based model we have, where we build tools and allow people to be able to become hosts themselves in communities all over the world, is going to be the most scalable model for us.
You said that you've continued to see the average length of Airbnb stays continue to lengthen. What is the average right now?
I don't think we're going to probably disclose that right now, but we, in coming earnings reports, I'll be really interested in sharing some of the trends we're seeing. But what I can certainly say is that we have seen a consistent increase in the length of stay on Airbnb over the last 5 years. A world of more flexibility is a world where people are going to be traveling more and traveling longer and traveling, living, or blending together. And I think that's why people like staying in homes. The longer you're away from home, you want to be in a home. You have the comforts